Other plant, this just chop and but they're like, you know, it's so young. When you look at the soil here, we said food is a medicine. That's the bale fruit. Can you see the fruits up there? It's a particular variety of bale fruit that I got about 25 years ago in Salem. And it's so delicious. We give it in the cafe and people are drinking that sherbet. They're like, you know, it's so yummy. And you start to see that taste. That is the medicine. That is the medicinal value, you know. And then you see the soursop tree. This is anti-cancer, 10,000 times more effective in the treatment of cancer than chemotherapy. I mean, that's what the research is. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just repeating what I've read and what other doctors and people who've taken it have told me. You know, we make a juice from the leaves, but of course you can also eat the fruit. It's like the champagne of fruits, a bit like pineapple and guava with a sort of a hint of apple. But if it's immature, you can peel it, remove the seeds, and you can cook it. It's like potatoes. So you're like, my God, Mother Nature, she's so generous, you know. But we sort of limit things to only the thing that you can get money for. But we don't see the depths of her, you know, her expansive, you know, nature. And as you go through, you start seeing, oh, the banana stem for kidneys, the mango leaf, high blood pressure, the giloy is inflammation, reverse diabetes. You know, they even say it's for anorexia. I mean, I don't know what the relationship between anorexia and diabetes is, but that's what is said, you know. So everywhere is medicine. And you really see, this isn't just a farm, it's a pharmacy. You know, it's quite extraordinary. And as you're eating, there's a sort of, the response we get, I mean, you can see your response if you haven't eaten here already, but there is a joy in the food. And that joy is well-being. That's a translation of the quality of the soil. So when you look at the soil here, in the farm, you see that the soil is really alive. There are millions of microorganisms, molds, bacteria, insects, earthworms, fungi, small animals, and the mycelium. The life in the soil is directly proportionate to the fertility of the soil. Even that's too cerebral. The life in the soil is the fertility of the soil, you know. So the more you nurture the soil, the more you add organic matter and you know, sort of facilitate the decomposition, the more life there is, the more porosity there is. The more porosity there is, the more easy that the nutrients are being spread through the soil. And you start to see that the structure of the soil, this concept of fertility, the concept of this being a divinity. You know, in Europe they call her Gaia. In South America they call her Panna, they call her Asasea or something. You know, in ancient Babylon it was Ki. You know, they have so many, every culture has a name for her. You know, but actually it's the life in the soil that is the divinity. So if you start plowing the land, if you start putting chemicals and compromising the life in the soil, what happens to the soil? It dies. And then we start putting chemicals. And then we're in a very anthropocentric spiral, which leads us to an erosion of well-being on every level of our lives, you know. You return organic matter to the soil. You create a carbon trap for the, you know, for carbon. So it's a very good for climate resilience. But you're also suppressing evaporation. You reduce the soil temperature, like wearing a hat or a turban or having hair. And of course and organic matter, and it stops erosion when there's a heavy rain. You know, so this, what we call paillage, you know, mulching, this is the first, the last technique of any farming, obviously. You know, there are no more techniques to really value than that. The rest then is trimming, chopping and dropping, a little bit of weeding when the weeds are too high, harvesting, endless harvesting, you know, and reclaiming the knowledge of what can be used and how it can be used. The creativity of how to use these plants is so important, you know. Because people say to me, I say, hey, take another papaya tree. They say, no, we already have one. I say, if you have one papaya tree, that means you're only having the fruit. That means you're not using it as a vegetable. If you have papaya as a vegetable, you peel it. You come to the cafe, people go, oh, the carrot's nice. You know, that's green papaya. And you say, oh, the soup, nice. What's that? Green papaya. The halwa, gaja halwa. Nee, gaja halwa kariye de. That's green papaya halwa. And then they say, oh, the chow chow. No, that's green papaya. And the pumpkin dish with the chilies and the peanut. No, it's green papaya. So diverse, you know. So the honoring of these plants with creativity is the reclamation of cultural identity, is the renaissance of well-being in any society. Okay, let's keep going this way. And working here. And what they're doing right now is called chop and drop. So this is the Mexican sunflower. It's a hedge plant. It's a windbreak. It's a pollinator. It's a chop and drop, a mulching plant. It's also a structure for other plants to grow up. And then there's also the Gliricidia. This is another plant. This just chop and drop. This is also one of the main activities of our farming. You put this here, there's no weeds underneath. You open a gap, you plant a plant, and it grows, you know. So this is very important. I asked them just to demonstrate this when you walk by so you can see what's one of the main activities in the farm. And there are many plants that are used, like banana, papaya, chaya spinach. So many plants are chop and drop. Step is to return organic matter. That's what makes a healthy soil. Without returning organic matter, there is no hope, because this is Bhumidev. This is the foundation of culture. Without that, there's no common language, because there's no body. There's no plant, there's no body, there's no language, you know. This is so fundamental. So how we farm, if we keep plowing the land, we constantly compromise this. So to find a way to farm where we're not on labour pas, you know, where we don't compromise the soil structure and the fertility is fundamental, you know. The next is to honor all these gifts with an incredible creativity, you know, juices, powders, purils, puddies, you know, vegetable dishes, soups, this, that, ice creams. Today, we're collecting all the palm fruit, the panaparam. So we make a juice already, but you know, we have so many juices, so it doesn't get sold so quickly, so we're freezing it today. And we'll make ice lolly, panaparam ice lolly. We'll boil it with a little ginger and a little patta, cinnamon. And then we'll add little lemon and we'll add a little hibiscus to give rose color. And then people will have, oh wow, what's that? It's palm fruit. From Kanyakumari to Surat, it's dropping on the floor. No one's valuing it. Like the badam. When you go where you left your shoes, look on the kalam, the drying floor, full of badam. No, who is doing that? It's time. Time is currency. Time is love. How much time I take to get to know you and understand you, that's how deep our relationship will go. And it's the same with any relationship, whether it's the guitar or to learn about local foods, you know, or being with your kids, you know. Time is the currency. So the creativity to make use of all these gifts. And the third thing is community. Community with celebration and education. So here we have music festival. As a musician, like I was performing in like one of the club in Mumbai, you know, millionaires in the audience, and I was like, this isn't what I want to do. I want to do this for my community. So we started Lively Up Your Earth Eco Music Festival, and we have 1,500 people with a lot of stalls and activities, and the tree house with massage and healing, and you know, all the local food, cooking workshops, and about 15 different bands, and a lot of top musicians from all over India performing. And that's like the cherry on the top of the cake, you know. It's people come together. If there was music tonight, we would be there, you know, we'd be dancing. You remember after COVID, the first party, it was like an elixir. People, you know, to be with people, you know. So to underestimate the value of celebration within the context of local food is a big mistake. Many people come to me, I want to start a farm, and this first thing, do a festival. Your first thing is to bring people together, celebrate. You know, that will be the precursor for your successful farm, you know. So, you know, that everything emerges from there, I would say. So thank you so much for listening to me, for coming all the way to Solitude Farm. The food in the cafe is better than my speech. So please have the lunch, try the coolers. The ice creams are amazing. The mango ice cream is 5-star. You know, it's all good stuff. And if you want to go deeper in this, I have a workshop on the 15th of August, a 3-day workshop. That's a payable workshop. You can find out about it on our website, solitude.farm. Also, there is another website, krishnamackenzie.com, and on that you can see some documentation of this work we did with the corporate space. Also, my music is there. And I'm about to release my 4th album with my band. It's called Cage. It's released next month on the 20th. So keep your eyes open on Instagram for that. That's Krishna.Mackenzie on Instagram. And all of this is our particular way to, you know, to try and bring this renaissance about, you know, to make it alive. So thank you so much, everybody.